What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our Week 1 battle in the PFCFL Season 2. This week we are taking on Jacob and the Carlisle Goodras. And I will apologize now for this video going up as late as it is. This will be going up on the Tuesday after the battle actually happened. The battle actually happened last Wednesday. It was supposed to go up on Saturday, but Casey, as you can see, the quality is a lot better. Casey is actually recording our battles, the battles that we want to be uploaded on his capture card for us. So he's being really cool with that, and I really thoroughly appreciate that because it allows the quality of all of our videos to increase. So, shout out to Casey for that. I will link his channel in the description over at Infrareddy. I love his channel. He does a lot of amazing content, so he's a really good guy. So, definitely go and check him out. But, before we get into this right here, you see our team, Seismitoad, Gardevoir, Durant, Hydreigon, Lopunny, and Dusknoir. He actually decided to bring the Drapion, the Goodra, Scizor, Mega Charizard X, Regice, and Regirock. He did not. So make note, he did not bring the. He did not bring the Espeon, which was a huge threat. So he had nothing besides Scizor that could potentially get rid of the rocks if we set them up. So that was a good thing to note right at the start of the battle. So without further ado, let's get into this. And boom. Let's do it. Alright, so you're going to see we're going to lead with our Seismitoad here as planned. There was no doubt in my mind about that, as he is going to lead with his Regirock, which is really not surprising, I guess. I kind of expected it. We're both actually just going to go ahead and set up our rocks here. I'm not as worried about it as I don't have very many mons that are weak to rocks, so I'm not necessarily worried about it, as he's going to then go for a Protect, and see that I'm just firing off a Scald. Just kind of makes sense. Now, at this point, he goes to switch out. I'd predict him to switch, as I do, in fact, go for a knockoff here. I'm trying to predict that and seeing what I can knock off. He takes 25% there from the rocks, which is really nice. As I hit this Regice nicely with a knockoff, and knockoff its Assault Vest, which is actually kind of scary. It's a really scary thing. So I'm predicting this thing to have, like, Freeze Dry or, like, HP Grass. So I go out into Ghostbuster here, because I know Ghostbuster can eat up a hit. As he does in fact go for Hidden Power, so I'm assuming that was Hidden Power Grass on his Regice, specifically there for my Seismitoad, and as you can see, Ghostbuster just completely laughs at it. So he's going to start firing off Ice Beams because it's stab damage, and he figures that's going to be the best thing he can do to me. I go for Will-O-Wisp here to burn this thing and get some residual damage on it, because residual damage is nice against very bulky mons such as Regice. So, got the burn on him now, and he's going to go for another Ice Beam. I know it's not going to take me out, so I actually just go ahead and fire off a Rock Slide here. Rock Slide is going to be able to knock this Regice down into the red, and then after my leftovers give me back a little bit of HP, the burn damage is definitely going to take out the Regice. So that's a kill right there for Dusknoir, who put that burn on the Regice, which is really nice. Next up, he brings out Blue Blades, who's going to be his Mega Charizard, and he takes the 50% from the rocks, which is fantastic. Now at this point, I noticed that there's really no reason to keep Dusknoir around, since pretty much the remainder of his team is going to be physical attackers, for the most part. So I decided just to go ahead, fire off a Shadow Sneak. I know it's not going to do all that much, but I just fire off the Shadow Sneak, get a little bit more chip damage on the Charizard, as I let the Dragon Claw take him out, which is totally fine for me, as I can go into King Ghidorah here, who is going to be our Hydreigon. Take a little damage from the rocks, no big deal, as I can just fire off a safe Dark Pulse just in case he decided to switch, and take out the Charizard. The crit did not matter, I did calc it afterwards. With my spread, it would have done at least 40% minimum, and he was at about 30 to 35, so we're good. So in comes the Goodra, and I'm not a fan of this. I am choice, so I get out of there. I switch out to 3 Fancy 5U, the Gardevoir, to eat up any hit that he wants to go for. I trace his Gooey, which is kind of nice, as he does go for the Draco Meteor, which is kind of what I predicted, so that's nice. He goes for the Sludge Bomb, and look at how much Assault Vested Gardevoir eats this. That does like nothing. And I find out here that I'm pretty sure he's not Assault Vested, as look at how much that Moonblast did. That is about half his HP. That's insanity. As another Sludge Bomb is going to bring me down low and get the poison, which is really, really saddening for me. But I do get another Moonblast off, and this Super Slush, the Goodra, is going to go down. Another crit, but again, we saw based upon the amount of damage it did last time, the crit did not matter. So that's a thing. So we're down to 3 HP, and he brings in his Drapion here, and this kind of got a little bit scary. This situation got a little bit dicey, as he then goes for a Swords Dance. Now, if he had just gone for the kill there, I think he probably would have had a better chance. But since he went for that Swords Dance, I was able to get off a Moonblast, and look at that damage. Drapion does not have very good special defense, so that allowed me to get serious damage off, as Goodra gets a kill there off of that poison. It's kind of unfortunate, but it's alright. Gardevoir did what he needed to do. She needed to do, I should say. So I go back out into King Ghidorah here. Drapion's going to go for Protect, kind of scout and see what I'm going to do. Not really surprising. I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower because that was the best possible move I could have gone for based upon what he had left on his team. I just fire off the Flamethrower regardless, again, as he does allow the Drapion to just go down. So out comes the Regirock, which completely shuts down Scarf to Dragon, who's scarfed into a Flamethrower. So I'm going to actually just swap out into Seismitoad here. And here comes a little bit of a stally part in the battle, but I was impressed by it. Zitz here just kind of sits here and takes hits. That did nothing. Physically defensive Seismitoad is nothing to laugh at. Plus with the leftovers, he's basically doing almost no damage to my Seismitoad. As this big ass toad can just kind of sit here on the field and just fuck shit up. I decided to go for a knockoff here because the leftovers are going to matter in the long run. In my opinion, they'll make him live a lot longer, and I don't want to take any extra damage that I don't need to before the Scizor comes in. So I get those knocked off, as he's just going to fire off another Drain Punch, which I'm totally fine with. I wasn't really bothered by that. He can fire off Drain Punches for days. I'm going to fire off a Scald, which is going to do really, really good damage to get over half, and get the burn. As he decides to start going for Stone Edges, because I think he realized at this point he wasn't going to do any damage to me. So he wanted to kind of try maybe for a crit or something. I don't know. But he did less damage than my leftovers recovered there, so it really didn't help him at all. And then I outspeed, so Zitz is actually going to pick up a kill here with a Skull, which is really, really nice. Seismitoad being one of the Mons, I didn't expect to really pick up any kills this season, and he just goes ahead and gets a kill, which I think is kind of cool. And then in comes the Scizor, and at this point, I think we both kind of realized he couldn't really touch me. I decided to go for a knockoff here, just to see what kind of item he's carrying. I kind of wanted to learn sets. He's actually running a dual Assault Vest Core with the Scizor, which is kind of interesting. Maybe potentially to live a Flamethrower, which would have been kind of nice. He knocks off my leftovers, which is kind of annoying, as he does then go for a Bullet Punch for damage. As I Scald, as you can see there, that's going to do a lot more damage due to the fact that he doesn't have an Assault Vest. He's going to Bullet Punch again, he gets a crit, which is whatever at this point, as I go for the Scald, and it does not take out the Scizor. He goes for another Bullet Punch, and Zitz just kind of eats it to the face, doesn't give a shit, and fires off another Scald for the win. So that guy, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a 4-0 victory against our buddy Jacob and the Carlisle Goodras. If you guys are hyped for a good start to the season, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. And that'll be all for today. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing off.